Hey, Jeff. Yesterday, I was talking to women at the job, and I was talking to them about marriage. I was talking to them about how I don't date at all, and stuff like that. How I'm not the type to date male, female. I'm not a child molester. I just don't date at all. And a woman was like, why did you choose that? And I was like, well, I chose it because I chose God. When I chose God, God began to enlighten me on things biblically in the Bible. Like when I started choosing the Word of God over a simple lifestyle or just a normal lifestyle, because this is the norm, even though it's an abnormality. When I started choosing God over just what everybody else was doing, everybody else probably committed fornication, so I sat up there and I said, I'm not going to commit fornication, I'm going to focus on God. Everybody else married, committing adultery, I'm not going to commit adultery, I'm focusing on God. So when I began to do this, God began to wake me up to a whole bunch of things that was happening to the people. How we were dumbfounded, and this is just for me just following the Word of God that's setting me free, and just saying, okay, certain sins I'm not going to do. If I sin, it's because I lack knowledge, or I didn't know that I was sinning. I didn't know any better, so I sinned. But other than that, I decided, I was like, no, I'm not going to be partakers in certain sins or certain things that were going on. And at the point that I wasn't partaker in it, my enemy began to lose power. I can't tell you the truth about certain things, but I can tell you that I was raped from a young age. All this had been erased, like taken like out of my memory, and God began to awaken that when I started to choose God and choose to do the will of God over other things. Certain powers and control that the enemy had over me, they no longer had that authority. It was authority given to the enemy over me because I was living an ungodly and sinful life. But the moment that I choose to live a godly life, certain authority that they had, they no longer had anymore. Then I started to wake up to the abuse, certain things that I was going through and stuff, and now I can document, I can report, I can actually say, yes, this is happening to me. Whereas I couldn't say it because I was knee deep in sin, I couldn't say anything about rape because I was sexually active with a male. I couldn't say what was going on with my body because I'm sexually active. And a lot of times when I had to start writing police reports about rape situations going on, and these people not being aware of rape situations, and I remember just thinking Adam and Eve, how they weren't aware that they were naked. What was going on there? You know what I'm saying? Then now we're going through this again, where we're dealing with situations where the enemy has taken over and have left you docile. And when we talk about these people that are doing these afflictions against you, a lot of times they see themselves in a godly capacity. They see themselves as authority figures. They see themselves as bigger than you. And truth be told, they're just an ordinary people, but they have done certain things to you and your family at a young age to keep you docile, to keep you blind, to keep you from where you need to be. When they start to sit up there and teach certain things, like this morning I was listening to a Hebrew Israelite, and he began to enlighten about like Enoch, and how with him God began to show him certain things, that there were angels teaching the people how to fight against sorcery, teaching them how to fight against hand-to-hand combat. There was angelic beings that was teaching the people and giving them knowledge, teaching them how to grow their own food. They say, oh, divide the root. Think about it. Certain plants you do have to separate from each other and build a whole nother plant so that you can expand the food source and stuff like that. So sitting up there and thinking about just growing in enlightenment because of just being obedient to the will of God, because God's ready to act. God and his angels are ready to act, but just sometimes we're caught up in so much stuff because sin became the norm. So sin became the norm. It's not considered sinful to regular people to have sex outside of marriage. Now, because the devil has deceived them, the adversary has deceived them in their blinded state and told them this is okay. It's not until you get to the point where you're like, look, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay in sin no more. I don't feel good in sin no more. It's aggravating me. It's agitating me. It's causing problems, that we begin to waken up and begin to get set free from the oppressors and those things that have oppressed us and oppressed our families for years. We talk about demonic possession in the Catholic realm, and the first thing they say, okay, when the priest comes in, the priest has to do what? Before he comes in, he has to sanctify himself. He has to confess all his sins, sanctify himself. If there's any sins that he possessed, he has to confess them and sanctify himself, pray himself up, seek out counsel, get anointed and everything before he goes into spiritual warfare to take back a demon-possessed soul. So in these seasons, God is turning up there trying to sanctify us, clean us up, get us ready for what's about to take place. We're sitting up there, we're in the times of Noah, we're in times of great flood, we're in times where there's a lot going on, and God's trying to divulge information, give counsel, teach and show people certain things, but now you have the adversary trying to stop it. The adversary wants to fight against you every 5 minutes, and it's the reason why he has to fight against you. He does not want you to go out with the tools that you need to actually conquer. Because if you conquer the enemy already know he's not going to make it. The enemy has been years and years with the same thing, but it's so much stuff that I'm learning from this Hebrew Israelite channel just off of listening to the Word of God, that this guy is like reading out and he's telling people and stuff. So hopefully I learn more, but just ministering to people and telling people, look, I wasn't comfortable in sin, I wasn't comfortable sexually active, I wasn't comfortable like that, and then after choosing not to be a partaker of that, I started going through rape situations, I started going through them attacking me, I started going through financial situations, I started going through a lot of things because I said I chose God. I'm choosing God. I didn't choose Satan. I'm choosing God. And God's going to guide me through this. God's going to lead me through this. God's going to give me wisdom and sound counsel through this. I couldn't even tell this young woman I'm not sexually active, but I still have to take a depot shot to safeguard my children and my seeds and, my children's children. I have to take a depot shot because I'm dealing with rape situations. Still, even now today, I'm still dealing with rape situations and stuff like that. She didn't even know how I felt about that. So I take a depot shot, I'm on birth control, and I'm not even sexually active willingly. I've been like that for the past 7 years. I celebrate April 1st, 7 years now. I think it's seven now. Of not being sexually active, not having sex, not having a partner, not, being a partaker or anything. 6 last year, 7 this year. So now I'm at 7 years serving God, and it's been an awesome experience. April 1st, Every April Fool I celebrate God just giving me mental strength and mental stability. Even if it's not much, just that little bit, man, it's awesome. I can't tell people what not to do. All I'm going to tell you something. You might want to find the Word of God, Quran. You need a Quran, whatever is holy, because there is a lot of holy books out there, and the Quran is definitely one of them. Holy Bible, the Rosary of Mary, the Rosary. Trust me, all these books that you can read to seek out holiness, you might want to find them and actually grow with God, and and stuff like that. Learn about the Rosary. Learn about why is this a protective thing, because we sit up there and we talk about charms and we talk about spells and stuff like that, but a lot of times we don't realize God gifts us with so many different things where we can actually talk to our enemies and our enemy will flee, but we don't know the exact words to speak. So hopefully these words encourage you. Hopefully it sends you on the right path. Like I said, when I chose God and I chose to understand, there's a lot of things that was given to me, and I'm thankful for it. The enemy's fighting me for it. I go through blindness, I go through attacks, I go through physical attacks, mental attacks, social attacks. Look, I'm just being attacked all around. But I prefer to be a servant in the house of God than to be anywhere else. And that's just the honest to God truth. Hopefully these words encourage you guys, give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Stay blessed, stay up.